This is Justin Amazon on Friday, January 18th, 2019. Pre-market this morning, we had a nice little sideways channel here. And then right before, in the last 5 minutes before the market opened, it started to move on up, making a bullish retest gap from yesterday being a bullish candle. We're moving up some more. We're almost up to the 1714.50 price that we were just talking about yesterday. That's the next line that's a target, and it's like pre-market we're almost there. So it's like, okay, let's step into the day and see if we get there. Okay, high wave candle, again, almost there. A little bit of a lower high, lower low. Okay, that's all right. We're still almost there. Okay, here's an inside candle, almost an inside candle, just a little bit indecisive for the first 20 minutes. And it's like, okay, it's so close. It's got to get up that high. And then it starts to break down a little bit and comes down into 1700, another high wave candle. Like all these candles were pretty much high wave candles, except for I'd say that one, but this one a little bit more of a hammer, but just really indecisive candles up here. So this is just people taking profits. People who, bought yesterday are up a little bit before weekends, before holiday weekends. Okay, take some profits. So on this candle, we've pulled back. We've closed the gap from yesterday's high, but we haven't quite gotten as far as where the close was down here, 1693, right? So another candle starts to pull back. It looks like it's going to break down some more. Now we're almost to this high from yesterday and getting into this triangle we were at from the day before. It's like, okay, it can keep coming back some more. It could close the gap entirely, anything like that. And then we have an inside bullish candle, and then we start to move up a little bit. Now this is kind of inverted hammer, a little bit of an upper wick here, but still, a little bit more bullish. Volume's not really helping us decide on this stuff, but here we go again. Higher high, higher low, slightly lower high, inside candle, inside of the bearish candle. It's like this is another little consolidation here. This is now 25 minutes. So we did 20 minutes up here. Now we've done 25 minutes here, and it's kind of a little smaller, a little tighter. It's like, okay, from here, I mean, you could take a breakout. You could buy a low, the stop down here, something like that, looking for a move up to the next line. So this still obviously looks bullish because we're up from yesterday. There we go, starting to break out. Okay, broke out, pulled back right away. Again, just so sideways in here. Like nobody wants to really get this thing moving. Smaller candle. I always like seeing these smaller candles come in and get some lower wicks back into the exponentials here. And this one's, continuing to break out, actually clearing some of the highs from the earlier candles. And okay, now this looks like an evening star reversal again. High wave candle breaking down. You go bearish below that. Maybe we just won't get there, but it's like we're so close. That's the line that's in sight. Inside candle, really small candle, but a hammer down here. So, even here, it's like, oh, now it's putting some similar lows. You could set up a trade to, go bearish or get stopped out below this. And if you're getting stopped out, it's like, well, where are you in? Can you just get in up here? Because technically this is a retest of this level here, and it's a hammer. And I mean, even if you were to take this and it moves up here, I mean, you might get 2R out of that. Just, if you're buying right now and a stop right here, that could be 2R. So it starts to actually move up a little bit. You've got a bearish engulfing. Just today was just a really slow mover, and then we get there. We get into the 1714.50 price, and we just hover. All of this, we're just hovering right in here. I'm actually putting a high 1716.20. I couldn't remember when that popped in, but there you go. Actually, got to close above it here, and then the rest of the time it was either a wick into it or we stayed below it. And so now it's like, well, now we're up here. Now we're where we wanted to be. We're at this line. This is a great pivot. Let's see what happens. So this was the first failed attempt to break out. Let's see if we get another attempt to break out. And it's just staying below this. The exponential's caught up. Now we get another squeeze. You got bearish momentum on the squeeze. Okay, now we're going to start to roll over a little bit. All right, we took out the low. Let's see. This is a really good place to have a nice tight risk to reward. Um, you can set a stop up here somewhere, get in with your entry down here. Maybe it'll go back down to the low of the day, or at least it'll stay below this price. So you want to be careful which option you're picking. Right now it's around 1710. It could still move down to 1700. So get this one in the money if you're going with 1700 puts. 1705, 1710. You'll pay a little bit more for a premium, but because it's so close, like this one's at the money, it should start making some money more quickly than these other two that are a little further away. But I always like sticking at the nice, round numbers. So 1700 is what I would be looking at. Anywhere up in here, it's like, I know this is a resistance. Let's see if it'll play out. And it does. We move down. We start to retest a little bit. That's another good place to get in. Continue lower. And then that's what we do for a good while. We actually make a new low on the day, go sideways a little bit here, and then there's the end of the day. So we actually ended the day near the low. The last time in a candle of the day was actually making a new low on the day. So overall, we have a bearish day, bearish candle that had some nice bullish retest, moves to it here and some opportunities to get in. If you look at here, so let me just look at the day. And if you look at, oops, which way do I do this? I need to do it this way. Switching back, restore. There we go. Okay, so all of this, these are the candles you would have been looking for. This is the price you would have been looking for, but the lows here are 780. The low here was 620, 655. So that's a little more than $1 range. But when you get over here, these lower wicks, these lows are holding. So you got a low of 9, a low of 915, a low of 940. All the while we're just going sideways here, but these prices were the retest of breaking out from this price. And so getting in here at the low off the 21 actually would have worked nicely into the close here, into the high here. And you could have been getting in, let's even say 10 by 9. I always like that price, 10 by 9. That could have worked in here. You could have flipped it out at 15 or 14 or anywhere in here where it just was hovering at this known pivot. And that's where you would have been looking to exit, not at the high of the day up here at 1850. But getting out at 14 or 15. So getting in at 10, stop at 9, and getting out at 14 or 15. That's a 4 or 5 hour trade, just like that. Just waiting for this to move the way that we're anticipating. So now we're up here. We've taken profits. We've exited. Even if it breaks out, it's a bullish retest. It's fine if it rests some more and then breaks out and keeps moving without us. We've still made 4 or 5 R on the day. What's really neat that's happening in this price range on the stock is that the 1700 put is actually crossed down into $1 range. And so the setup here, hopefully you're out of the bullish trade, but you're getting set up for a potential move, potentially rollover. But even if it breaks out, you're risking $1 and your stop's at 0. That's an absolute 0 play. The entire amount you're in is your risk value. So as long as the option goes up, you're positive. It doesn't matter how much you were expecting to lose it all on that trade. But in this case, you don't have to worry about getting stopped out early or something. You don't have a stop in place. The alternative to that is if you could get a little more aggressive with this, you don't want to play it as an absolute 0. You could get in $1 by 50 cents, get 2 contracts, and now that can move even quicker. The other things you can do here is just waiting for this, because a lot of times on an expiration Friday, when it's pausing up here like this and then does roll over, there's usually an opportunity or a few to get in on any sort of rally when this is selling off bearish, because those rallies are going to suck the premium out of the puts. And that's what's happening all through here. You could have done a trade 2 by 1, like pretty much anywhere in here, just by waiting a little bit. Now, again, if you were getting in 1 by 0, you don't necessarily want to do 2 by 1, and add to the position. But there's some things you can do to either wait or to move your stop up and actually put a stop in place on the one where you're at with an average of 0. That way, if it does end up pulling back on the put, you're still protected. You're not risking more than you anticipated to. What's nice about the 2-to-1 trade is it's been able to do this rollover. This is the new trend. It's worked off of this pivot. It's just a matter of, okay, where can we get in? So 2-by-1, you're getting in way down here. You don't have to see this rollover. That's the nice thing about the Friday. We're, right here. This is what's amazing. So this candle, it touched 1700, the 1700, dollar range, 1753 cents. The high here was 1705. We're $5 out of the money. There's 2 hours left in the day, and we can get in for $2. We can get in for $2 the next 15 minutes here, and have a stop at 1. So 2-by-1, it's only a couple dollars out of the money. All it has to do is move down and make a new low in the day, and you get out. And that's what it does. Not this candle. This candle makes a new low in the day. The high on the option on this candle is $6. You got in at 2, stop at 1, and it went to $6 within a matter of minutes. Or you could have been exiting at $5. Either way, 2-by-1 going up to 5, that's 3R. We're going up to 6 is 4R. I mean, it was that quick for it to do it. Now, there's no guarantee it's going to do that. Granted, it could just start to bounce from here. But I mean, you've really exhausted the bullish move. This was, I don't want to say obvious, because we're never 100% sure. But seeing a rollover from a known pivot like this, a price that we were just talking about yesterday, that it could get up into this. We needed some rest because it's been going up so much. We've broken out of this channel. We'll see if we do anything to come back into it. But, in a matter of minutes, you could have been getting it. Like even these small candles, it's like, okay, even if these small candles it breaks down, this one is the low is at 1201, the high is at 1203.50. This one, it's very similar. But this candle for the puts, you could have been getting into the 1700 puts for under $2. Again, 2-by-1, the same setup right here, right before it moves quickly. It's got a nice consolidation. Let's zoom back in on this one and see this candle. So we don't have any squeeze other than this one. So we kind of exhausted that. But it's like, okay, what's causing it to wait here other than a nice whole number, 1700, just a few points below. But what it does is it just breaks down. The very next candle breaks down here, gets almost to the low in the day, and then does this candle. And in that time frame, literally 10 minutes, you could have gone from $2 to $6, $2, let's say $2 to 5 or $2 to 4. That's still 2R. In less than 10 minutes on expiration Friday, those are the ones that you can take. You can look for reentry. You can hold out, on exiting, but just tighten up your stop and know that it's so choppy, you might just get stopped out. So those are the ones that it's like, okay, let's be reasonable of how far we think this could move in the last hour and a half of the day, and being nimble with this kind of setup. So makes a new low on the day, it just goes sideways, eats up all that premium that people have gotten in. We're getting in down here. It's eating up all that premium, and actually the low it puts in here is $2.50. So still well above the dollar that you could have gotten in back here. Little ways above the $2 you could have gotten here, but that just means the 2-by-1 trade would not have worked again because it just didn't pull back as far. And that's talking about all through this. We're in the money. Any little jog, any little move on this is throwing this thing, a couple dollars range. And then ultimately we get one last rollover, and that's even here too. So a bunch of opportunities to just scalp some things, a couple opportunities to play it. If you had been in already, that's a great place to take profits on a swing. But on this day trade, I mean, there was opportunities to get in bullish as it went up, getting in bearish on its way back down, and a number of places where you could have just been like, well, I just want to mitigate my risk, and I'll eke out $1. So you could have done 1-by-2, 1-by-0 or 2-by-1, and just exited, once it gave you a dollar, on the trade. And that it totally would have worked. Make up the rules that make sense for you on expiration Friday. If you just want to scalp, if you just want a little bit, that can work. If you want the big movers, you got to wait for those to be set up to be big movers. And today was just a small candle. So let's take a look at the daily. And the daily, you can see we've broken out. Bullish retest. We got a bearish candle, totally a retest, just like this was totally a retest. And we're actually pushing above these highs, which I was saying it could do. So I'm not going to say it has to go higher. It could totally roll back down from here. And like I said, it could get into the 1607 price or the 1617 price and just kind of, launch off of the downtrend channel, which it didn't do here. So, I'm kind of anticipating a little bit more of a sell-off into the exponential, but with earnings just ahead, I don't want to be in anything leading into earnings or over earnings. So, we'll get out of anything, if you're looking at any sort of swing, we'll just look at day trades. And today there were some opportunities. So there should be more next week. Monday is a holiday, and so the markets are closed. So, Tuesday, we'll see what happens, if there's any gaps or anything caused by other things that are going around the world. But, here we'll pick this back up Tuesday. And I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.